Let's pray and get started. Father God, thank you so much for bringing us here today. We just love and thank you for all that you're doing in our lives. We just ask that you would be with us during this hour and let my words be your words, and let us learn exactly what you need us to learn today to help our spiritual growth and be involved in our church and our community and the lives of others that you put in our path. We just love you and thank you for all that you do. It's in your precious son's name. Amen.
Amen.
So today is on involvement. So what is involvement in the church?
Seeing where you could serve in different places.
So involvement is serving.
Taking on too much responsibility.
Well,
No.
that's not being involved, that's just being involved. That's not being involved. That would be a negative, not a positive.
Being involved is being a part of everything that goes on in the church, including up to and including church picnics, and church gatherings, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In addition to all the serving areas that you can participate in.
I just said that.
Yep. So basically involvement is
Hello.
serving. So that's the direction we're going to go today with is serving.
I'm not gonna.
So kind of the way I've done it is Jesus was here to set an example for us, and I think there's several places that it talks about how he served. So we're going to start off with that. John 13 is the chapter where Jesus washes the disciples' feet. I know. I'm hoarse today a little bit. So why did you think Jesus chose to wash the disciples' feet of all things?
Because it was a humbling thing and it was a low task, and that we should be able to serve no matter how high or how low we think the standard of service is.
Yeah, think about it. In that day, they had a servant that basically washed people's feet when they came to your home. Think about the time that it was in. What was their mode of transportation?
Feet,
And?
sandals.
And?
Feet.
Animals
No,
and chariots.
animals, that's and so these people were walking where the animals have you ever followed an animal around very much? So you got dirt, animal stuff, and people in sandals.
Good morning.
So that was usually the task of the lowliest person.
Do you have an extra pen?
So for Jesus to pick up the very lowest of the servant jobs as an example, what does that tell us?
That he's no better than any of us.
Oh yes, he's better than us.
You showed us. You showed us
You
that.
just lost some kind of big stone in your ground.
We need to be willing to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You showed us that even the best can do minimal.
So he said, I laid down a pattern for you. What I've done, you do. So I think that's kind of interesting that of all the things that he could have chose to show the disciples, what, 2 nights before he died? Right?
Yeah, this was the night that he was arrested.
Yes,
So
that's
they
true.
made it
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one of his last lessons to them. And what do you really usually remember about stuff? You remember the last thing somebody said, or the thing they said 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So I think he set an example for us. And if you look at his own ministry, it's that way. All the way through. So we're going to kind of pick out some different things as we go through here. So if you look through it, I'm just going to read this because it's really good. I didn't write it, so it's really good. Jesus was the Son of God. He never placed himself in a position above others. He led by serving and he loved by serving. He washed feet, he fed thousands, he walked to visit and heal the sick and the dead. He stopped to touch and heal sick women. He spent time with those no one else cared to spend time with. Jesus lived a life of humility, serving others and humility go hand in hand. And I think his whole ministry was trying to prove that to us and show us. Because he could have very easily, as a disciple, okay, you over there, you're done good this week, you wash our feet. Or they could pull somebody off the street to have done that. I'm sure there was some of that little group that was following them, because by this time they had a following. I'm sure there was somebody in that group would have been willing to come in and play servant person. But he chose to do it himself. Any thoughts? We kind of hit it.
I think a big thing is that, I mean, he did what needed to be done. I mean, the feet were dirty, that's why they washed them. They didn't wash them as some ceremonial thing. They washed them because they were dirty. They didn't, talking about what's on their feet, they didn't want that tracked around the house that they were in or wherever they are. So I think whatever Jesus did, he did what needed to be done. So when when he fed the 5,000, he fed them because they were hungry. I think that's a
Good
big
point,
deal.
yeah.
Is that if we see something that needs to be done, go ahead and do it. We don't have to.
Get a committee and find people volunteers and
Yeah.
train for it. And
Just do it.
I don't remember who I saw. It was some preacher on TV, so we'll go with that. But I don't remember who it was, but it's something that they said a long time ago that really made a difference to me. If someone you know needed a couch, say, this was their example, and you had 2 extras in your garage, what is the right thing to do? Go up to them and say, okay, I'll be praying that you get a new couch.
Just give them the other one.
Just give them.
What is it to do there? What is your calling there? How is the best way to serve? Yeah, we can pray for someone, but is that serving them? Sometimes that's all we can do. But if you can do it, what's going to be the bigger impact? I'll pray for you to get a couch, or I gave you a couch.
Just do it.
It's like we said, whatever needs to be done, do it. You got dirty feet? Wash them.
Yeah.
Kind of goes along with the Nike saying, just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how these things go through life, and you can always go back to a Christian thing. Even Nike commercials. Philippians 2:3-5 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. So what is serving one another? What is the mindset of Jesus? We've kind of already hit that, but I think this is going to be a theme where it's going to pound home.
You're not doing it for the look at me. You're doing, to be recognized.
Why don't you do it for the look at me?
Because that's not humility.
Because that's
It's
prideful.
not, yeah.
Or are you doing it as to be serving? Or are you doing it for attention?
If it's all about you, it's not gonna glorify God. It's not gonna,
But does the task get done?
no, yeah, it still gets done, but it doesn't glorify God. If you don't do what God tells you to do, if you place it on your heart to give that or do
Well, you can
that,
still, say God told you to do it. But how you take credit for it, or say you help Naomi over here. But you come to church on Sunday and you tell everybody what you did for Naomi.
that's not cool.
Well, part of what Jesus
I
said
mean,
is that
'cause it's-
then when everybody acknowledges what you did, there you go. Then you
There's
got your
praise.
reward. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's over and done with versus the idea of God getting the glory now and your reward comes later.
Build your treasures in heaven, not on earth.
Yeah.
There's a verse about that somewhere, I think.
On your chart.
That's next week.
Is that next week?
She's serving me because she takes me to church. And that is something I'm very grateful and thankful for.
See, Helen's just setting me. She's being the example.
I help lots of people. And I don't tell people that I do. I help lots of people.
So, I think that's the whole idea of serving. You gotta generally care about
She's done it for a
about
whole
the
year
person
and
that
hasn't
you're
stopped.
helping. And it doesn't mean that you have to like them or know them even,
Yeah.
but you have to care on that Christian level. Okay, I want this person to be helped, to be fixed, to be whatever it is that we're doing to serve. And it doesn't always have to be people. Sometimes it's other things. I mean, things that you don't look at as serving.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever think about when you go in the bathroom here, that it's clean or not clean? Why did I look at Trish?
No, I don't know. Keep going.
So I just mean, sometimes I think we look for those glorified places to serve. Yeah, maybe we're not boasting about it or talking about it, but yet we want to be at the one where everybody sees us doing it. It's the one that's fun to do. It's the one that's clean to do. We're not, picking the camel stuff out between somebody's toes. We're doing the fun stuff. And all the other stuff doesn't get done. The stuff that really makes an impact sometimes. So we want to be like Jesus. So where are you guys serving? I mean, you don't have to really tell me out loud, but are you serving somewhere? Or I'm not necessarily saying you're even in church. But that's part of it too. The church has to have people serving and working and getting things done, because otherwise it wouldn't get done, or we'd have to pay somebody to get it done. And we started paying things to get done. Well, do we pay to have the bathrooms cleaned, or do we pay to have lights this week? Because then choices like that start to argue, do we have a computer for Marlene to work on? Do we have internet? Do we have a web page? The things that we can't always get for free. And I think that's where our service comes in, to keep things going. So where are you serving? What are you doing to help others and to help the church? Because if you think about the church too, yeah, these things may not affect a person, but we're trying to get people to Christ. Where's the best place that process to start?
Church.
At a church. Well, if they can't come in, and you can see that we had youth had popcorn last night, and they did not pick on and on Thursday we didn't have anybody that came in and did the vacuuming. And there's popcorn all over the floor. They go in the bathroom and there's trash is overflowing. There's no paper towels. And are we going to get an opportunity probably to teach them and to show them who Christ is, if that's the kind of stuff they come into? Or if they come in and there's no lights and there's no electricity, or we couldn't pay the bill. Oh, I think you had a question. Yes. So I think that's it's huge to think about when you're serving. It's not always that one-on-one helping someone. Sometimes it's serving a group. Sometimes it's serving the church, so the church can have a better face, can meet the needs of people that they don't necessarily always get to meet. If we don't have them here, we don't have that opportunity.
Well, and I think too, people are real quick to, and there's nothing wrong with helping outside the church, but this is our foundation, and we're supposed to be his hands and feet, and if we don't have the volunteers to be in the children's ministry, how are we going to draw children? If we don't have people willing to do the life groups, or how are we going to draw them and help them grow so that they can go out and be a light as well? Yeah. Instead of only, and then God gives us all something. It may not be running a country, it may be cleaning a toilet, or it may be just raising your children, or all these things are so important, and I don't think we start right here and then work out. You can't change the whole world until your home and yourself is right with God.
Amen.
Well, it was very eloquently said yesterday too, if we can't take care of our own, how can we take care of others?
Yeah.
And when you think about service, Is it only something that you plan ahead of time? Is it always, I come on Thursday and clean, I come on Saturday and mow the grass, I come on Tuesday to help Marlene with computer stuff? Is it always that planned stuff?
Not always.
A lot of times the best things when somebody served me is just have been an ear when I've needed it at that moment.
Are we putting ourselves out there for those moments? Or are we just, okay, I served my hour at church this week, or at the Fountain of Hope, or wherever we do our service that we think about, but are we looking every day for an opportunity to serve someone?
Well, like Pam said, when it's there in front of you, just do it.
It's the unexpected service that people really appreciate.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Like, we have a neighbor whose husband's very, very old. He's just turned 90. Well, I guess not very, very old, but.
Careful
he's-
there, buddy.
You'll be 90 next
She's,
month.
I don't know, I'd say she's 20 years younger than him, but she really adamant. They used to really take care of their yard, and they got orange trees and stuff, and we just noticed that it was really, and I went over and asked her, and she said, no. She goes, I'll take care of it. She goes, because I seen all these oranges laying on the ground and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so Marlene's like, hey, you know, if she doesn't want us to do it, and would it be cool just to go over when she doesn't know it and just at least clean up?
She's not home yet.
When she's not home, and she's home all the time. And I gave her a big hug. I said, hey, you know what, we're right next door. We know your husband's getting older and we want to help. She goes, thank you so much. But she goes, I can take care of it. I'll get it. I think she's just, and the thing is, they're involved in the church. What kind of church do they go to? They go to like a Methodist church, so they're involved. But she's kind of standoffish. Just kind of like her nature. She isn't really, when she gave me a hug, she just.
A lot of people are, it's hard to accept help.
And I would be like, heck yeah, you want to help me?
I think too, it all depends on how you approach it and how they receive it. You know, are you telling me you want to do it because you think I'm not doing it and you're telling me I need it? Are you really wanting to help, or are you wanting me to do it because you don't like living by the mess?
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what you did. Well, no.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we know that they're having a hard time doing it. I don't have a problem doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna cut her.
But I think from her point of view, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people are just real reluctant for whatever reason. Yeah, very prideful. They don't want to admit they're getting old. They don't admit that their husband's old. They don't want to admit that they just can't do it. And they plan on doing it.
Right. And I don't want to embarrass her just to go over there and start doing stuff. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, we'll pray about it. But anyway, that's kind of the stuff that happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not always well received.
Yeah, it's just those opportunities that come up, sometimes those are the ones that make the biggest difference. And even here at church too, you know, if you see something needs to be done or hear something, don't wait or if you have an idea, doesn't mean you have to wait for this formal committee to be set up and all the plans to be done, and 6 months down the road, the job that you saw that needed to be done, that you could have done, is still not done.
right.
So yeah, I think that, it's huge. It's the little stuff like that I think that makes, even here at the church, what do we need, what do you say that needs done? And the church makes it easy, because you don't have to go out and have those conversations and put yourself out there. Here, there's always, and we'll talk about those ways in a little while. There's lots of ways you can serve. But I do want to get that mindset of it, day, yes, our formal serving, and we do it on Thursday at 6, and all those are all important. But it's also very important to look for those little things every day. Where can I serve a person? Who needs Jesus today? That I can be him for them. And and that's the whole thing too. When we do these things, there's your opportunity. You don't be just a nice person. Be the nice Christian. It's okay to be a Christian in most cases. I mean, in today's society. Yeah, you know what I mean. You can't go to school and, stand up in front of a class. That's the kind of stuff, you can't. There is those places that is making it harder for us to be Christians. But, everyday life, and even there, you can take those opportunities. If you just have to think about it and be ready for those little things. But when you've got a neighbor, and you don't have to go up and say, hey, I'm a Christian. But if you just, in the best way, if you invite them to church a couple of times and then do something for them, they already know because you've invited them to church. So you don't have to wear this Jesus loves you shirt. To let them know. There's ways, those subtle ways that, that they'll know that you're a Christian. And then when you do something, well, I wonder, if they go to church, and now they're helping me, can they, maybe put the pieces together? Maybe the next time you ask them to go to church.
That goes with actions are bigger than words. The way you live, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, and they notice that something's different about that person, and that they want to be like that. So yeah, that's what we like to do.
Mm-hmm. So Galatians 5:13. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. I think we're kind of been talking about this a little bit. Mm-hmm. I got the question, what does it look like in our daily lives? Well, we've kind of been talking about that a little bit. Think about your coworkers. It's the little stuff sometimes that makes a difference too. It'll change them too. I know for me, I work in a restaurant, and I work here. But I work. So if anybody's ever worked in a restaurant, you know how the language is in a restaurant, in the kitchen. It ain't good usually, and you have to pick your battles a little bit. And so I know that I now work in a kitchen that I rarely hear a cuss word.
Wow.
Rarely, and it's. I'm not going to take credit, but yeah, I will take it because when
you laid the groundwork.
Well, and I didn't go in and say I don't like cussing and I don't want to be. No, I chose when they used God's name in vain that was the one I was going to attack or not attack, but say I'd rather you not say that. That's offensive to me. Blah blah blah. And so as time went on, they would catch themselves. Well, now. They would catch themselves, oh yeah, I should have said the other word either. Because you've made your point with the one, and it's not like I'm going, oh, that's a bad word, can't say it. That's a bad word, you can't say it. But rarely now does anyone, of course there's only 6 of us, but rarely does anyone ever say a cuss word around me at work, or around each other, because we're all in a close thing. So is it affecting them in their other parts of their life? Probably. But it did. I took a stance on one thing, and yeah, it makes a difference. What we see, going back to what Eddie said, how do we live our daily lives? Do we let things go by? Do we complain because our neighbor needs help and somebody should help them? Somebody needs to go over and cut his yard, or don't you have kids? Don't you have, whatever? Instead of being that person, just goes and does it. How do we genuinely love the unlovable?
I struggle with that because I have an ex-son-in-law, and never mind. So I learned to pray. I asked God to love him through me so I could forgive him. And it changed our relationship. Now we don't even talk to each other because he's an ex, but I could at least talk to him without my blood boiling because he was just a bad influence in Donna and the girls' lives. And when you hurt my kids, that's not a good place to go.
But how do we serve those people?
I just talk to him, and
but how do we serve them?
I don't know that I did, but I should in kindness.
But is that serving him?
I don't know. Is it?
So we got
to pray for them.
Yeah, I did
what about
all the time.
What about the people that are just hard to do stuff
Well,
for?
I was always told.
Do we just not do it?
Well, I feel like, hey, God commands that we love one another. But he doesn't say we don't have to like someone.
Exactly. Exactly, I like your point. Yeah.
Okay? You have to love your brother, you have to love your neighbor, you have to love everybody. And I do. Generally, through Christ, no matter what that person thinks of me, I still love them, but I don't have to like them at a certain time.
Exactly.
But I guess I gotta watch how I say that, but yeah, some people can upset you, but it doesn't mean that I don't love them, but you know, with papers.
Yeah.
Take it a different kind of service.
Don't you step.
He didn't learn that in D group, by the way.
I'm trying to use it, we need to talk about it. Because I think that is the thing. It's easy to pick out someone that we know is gonna, bake us cookies when we're done.
Right.
But what about the one that's, complain about what, not give you the praise? Are you doing it? Do we avoid those people that don't thank you? That don't praise you? They don't reward you in any way?
I think in those situations, you have to really be in tune with God. You're using His strength in the first place, because if it was up to you, you would just say, screw you, man. Have somebody else do it. But if you're in tune with Him and He's there with you, then it doesn't matter. I mean, you're doing it with God's strength and close to Him and His commands, and that's all that matters.
Those are harder.
Yeah, I mean, they are. You've got, you need to know God's right there with you.
Would it kind of be like if somebody's living in sin, on drugs or alcohol, you don't like the sin, but you love that person.
Exactly.
So once that clears up and that person changes to God, that he's the person that God wanted and made him to be in the first place. So things can change. You're right. But how do you serve him in the
Let's go back and think about Jesus the night He washed the disciples' feet. Did He only wash 11?
No.
Who else did He? Who was included in that group that was
Judas.
probably hard to do?
Judas.
But He knew what was going to happen at this point.
Well, he knew Peter was going to deny him too. So really, there were two of them.
But yeah, he could have waited. He ends up sending Judas away. Judas leaves early. He could have waited till after he left to wash the feet. Yeah, I'll let Judas get out of here. I'll wash the feet. I don't want to wash his.
That'd have been tough.
I mean, it's tough for us.
So who gets to determine what is a need? Kind of where I'm going is,
Yeah, I know.
You got people that ask, well, hey, I have this person that wants to go to do this, and he's under my care, but I don't have the money for it, but yet they're going out here, they're going to stay in, they rent a cabin for a week, or, we have this big event coming up. Can you help us coordinate this stuff? But yet this event is a huge event, and they're spending extravagant amount of money on that, but yet they're asking for help in this department here. So is that truly a need, or
Or a want, or a...
Yeah.
Or a need that we created ourselves. And that's the whole thing. It's different. You have to, we put things on our hearts for that
I see them
reason.
more when I go over towards Christian's house than I do over here. Because they stand under the overpass on the 51. There's always somebody there. And over here, I've seen them like on McKellips.
But that's, there's those times we just know we're supposed to help.
Yeah.
And there's just those times when, I know they don't need this, but maybe that little bit of help will put a smile on their face, keep them having to worry for a week or two, or just makes me feel good to be able to help somebody. So I'm blessed now, so maybe I can pay it forward. I know they've got 7 kids, Yeah, and they don't ever ask for anything, but you know, they got 7 kids. It can't be easy. Or you know, and sometimes we just know what people going through. You know, we know they have a new job, or we know what type of job they have. We know it's not a high-paying job. There's just those things that sometimes we just pick up on as we go through. Sometimes we just like the person, and we just want to show it. But yeah, when it's the need thing, it's one of those things.
Because either A, you enable them, or learn from the
Yeah,
experience.
and I think that's the whole thing. Are we helping them? Are we really fixing the need? Or are we just putting a Band-Aid on, you know, on a cut that maybe stitches?
But there's also a part where, you know, I'm not responsible for them. I'm responsible for me.
You know that?
So, I
All
mean,
the time.
it's my
No matter
responsibility
who you
to, if I see a need to try and help. And like you said, there are times that, you know, the Spirit will say, yeah, you need to do something. And then there's times where it's like, Spirit's like, nope, we're just going.
They need to learn their lesson. I've got them there for a reason.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's why we, you know, obviously it's about God and what God is telling us to do. But I'm not, you know, if I give money to somebody and they, you know, blow it, they do whatever, they're not responsible, that's on them, that's not on me. And so I can't be responsible. It's like, it'd be the same way, let's compare this, if we share Jesus with somebody and it doesn't make a difference for them then, well, that's not my responsibility, you know?
Exactly.
And it's my job to tell them about Jesus, and it's their responsibility to decide what they're gonna do. So I shouldn't say, well, I'm not gonna tell them because I don't think that it's gonna make a difference.
We don't.
That's, you know,
Yeah,
it's kind of in the same way.
That reminded me of back when I was homeless one time, way back, or not one time, the one time. I was picking up cans, and this lady gave me $10 as she passed by. And this other guy just tore into her, right in front of me. You shouldn't do that. There's places in Tiller where she should go donate it to or whatever. And she turned around and she made this whole long speech and about why it was just basically what Pam just said. And she goes, no, Jesus didn't ask the blind man what he was going to go look at or give him instructions. He didn't ask where he was going to walk to once he healed him. He just, okay, I give you a blessing now. It's your choice of what you do with it. But she just tore right back into it. And she was a little short lady. He was a big, and she was, forget it. But that made a huge difference for me, more than the $10 that she gave me. But I still remember exactly where I was and everything about it. Yeah. And she didn't know what I was going to do with it. And at that time, there was a chance that I wasn't going to do the right thing with it. You just never know. But it's like I said, but they may not do the right thing with it then, but if it's done right and done in love, down the road, the next time you're going to, okay, it adds up, that seed. Those seeds get watered. And then you start thinking, well, I better do the right thing, this is happening a little bit.
See, I think that comes from that love. Love isn't self-seeking. Love protects. Love hopes. Love never fails.
Yeah.
When you serve out of love, I don't think it comes back. It goes, it doesn't go empty out.
Yeah.
I think there's, my mom always said, oh, well, our food tastes better because it's baked with love, that kind of thing. I think when you serve with love and that behind it, it's the same. It doesn't come back void.
Yeah, because there are those people that will ask those questions. If I give you, I'm not going to give you money because I know you're going to spend it on something that you're not supposed to. Let me give you food. Well, maybe food isn't their need that day. Maybe they need a coat or a blanket.
Yeah, so it's hard.
Yeah, socks. Yeah, gloves. You don't know what their need is, and sometimes, and when you start asking those questions of someone that you're trying to help, you're no longer helping them. You're being an advisor. You're giving them advice that they didn't solicit for one. Yeah, they have to accept it because they're asking for help, but sometimes it's you got to really watch how you approach things. Are you giving? Because most of the time, is it really something that's going to change your life or their life? I mean, the actual $2 or $5 or even the 2 or 3 hours that you spend helping somebody clean their yard, is it really gonna change anything in the big picture of the world? It could, but not on a worldly level.
It's still a seed, I mean. it's
That's what I'm saying, it's not on a worldly level, because, you know, $5 is $5.
Yeah.
But you know
But
what,
it
it might
could.
be just that act of humanity that, you know what, hope isn't lost. There are still
Yeah.
human people who love, and I'm not just, you know, some trash on the street that,
Or it's that person that's thinking about, that's had a bad experience with church. And I'm never going to church. But then there's this church person that's helped them a couple of times without putting
And
ties on
healing
it,
her.
saying, I'll help you, but you have to come to church with me on Sunday. Sometimes it's like, well, that's a nice, maybe I'll check out their church, or maybe I'll check out this God thing again. But a lot of times it's how you
A
approach
lot of
it.
times that'll backfire too.
What part?
The part if, I'll help you if you come to church with me.
Oh yeah, that'll always backfire.
That's what I did to Jenny. That's what I did to Jenny, when Jenny and Christian were still in Pennsylvania. I bought them airline tickets to move to Arizona. And they lived with me, and I said, but you have to go to church with me. As soon as she met Jason, she stopped.
Yeah. Anytime they're not coming for their own reason, they're not, it's not gonna work.
No.
I think another thing we need to keep in mind too is even if you're serving someone, whether they're accepting it or not, you never know who's watching.
No.
So that seed doesn't just fall with that person. It could be,
That's right.
anyone else
Good
around.
True.
Actually, even here, you think about it, I consider to teach the class every week on serving. But if I don't do anything and you don't see me doing anything else, you're gonna take it to heart as much as you would if I was out there on Saturday, we go build a house together, or we clean toilets together.
Why do you look at me when you talk about cleaning toilets?
Because we've talked about it so much lately.
Because you're the one in charge.
Oh, no.
You're the boss.
Anyway, there's what time is it? Here's a whole list of more verses that are talks about serving and volunteer. We're not going to go through all of them, but I thought I'd give you something that you could kind of do, even if you do a weekly devotion or a daily devotion, and use these as kind of thought process.
Oh, you're talking about me again.
Which part?
You're doing too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, you know, when you get past the 25, there's some little stuff there that, yeah, when you're doing it, just some questions I asked. Is your heart struggling to love others? So that means when you're helping others and loving them, is it a struggle?
Sometimes.
So why is it a struggle if it is?
Because your mind's not in, I'm not in the right mindset, and I'm not connecting to God first.
Doing the wrong intentions?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you burn out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the person is just beat you up. I mean, that happens too. You help someone once,
Over
and
over.
the very next day, okay, oh, you did that for me yesterday, thank you. But now I need you to come over and do this. Now I need you to do this. Now I need you to do this. And now I need you to do this. And it becomes more than serving. You become their servant.
Yeah. And you're enabling them.
Well, it's not an option. Now they're demanding it of you.
Yeah.
And it's like.
It's no longer serving, yeah.
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 I'm trying to help you, but, you know.
But me
But
helping.
where is the individual responsibility
Yeah.
too? So.
Yeah.
And some people just let that happen. And I know it's easy to get caught in that trap, especially if you're you're a people pleaser. And you just keep on, okay. And then, but as soon as you leave, you come in here to your friends and you say, do you know what they did again? They asked me to do it, and I did it. And I'm not doing it again. And next week, well, they called again. And I went over and I did it again.
Well, and you know, and that shows two different things. There's helping someone who's, you know, a stranger you're passing by on the street. And then there's helping someone that you know and you have a relationship with and all of this. And that's where it becomes hard. And that's where, I mean, you need to have the conversation with that person of, hey, do you know what you're demanding of me? And do you know, that sort of thing. Because it's, yeah, that may, then I think it gets more into what Mike was saying about, what are they doing with this, and are they, when it's somebody on the street that you don't know, that's where I'm saying, God's telling me to do this, I'll do this, it's their responsibility what they do with this. But if I have a relationship with somebody and they're just, that's where it gets hard, because we have to, because it goes back, we want to be nice, we want to be nice people, and nice is not what it is, and it doesn't really help that person. Brian and I, we talk about the difference between helping and being helpful. And helping is where you do something, but it doesn't really, it's not what you really should happen. Helpful is when you're doing what actually should be done. Like, am I having a conversation with someone to make sure that they are not just taking advantage of people, that they're not just users, that they're not,
the person that needs rent money, why, are they paying a $300 cell phone? Do they have 3 cars? Do they?
Yeah, helping. And sometimes it's easier to help. Here, let me just give you this money and get you out of my face,
Yeah,
I'll see you next month when you're in the same situation, But helpful is sitting down and saying, all right, look, do you know what you're doing here? The choices you're making are putting you in this situation. And that's hard because, we don't want to be the bad guy.
And then we get this thing, but we're not supposed to judge. Well, you're not judging.
Yeah.
I think that we use that as a defense on both sides. People use that against you. Well, you can't tell me how to do it. You're judging me.
Well, then fine. Go pay your own rent,
And I think, too, when people take advantage of us, or we allow people to take advantage of us, we end up with it making us not want to serve other people that actually need the help.
Yeah.
Because we get that, I'm not helping another person ever.
Yeah.
And because we let it get to that point of feeling abused and taken advantage of and all that stuff. And what happens else? When you stop helping someone that you've been helping for a long time and you just get to the point of being fed up, you either blow up or quit doing it, and then they've gotten used to you doing it, so what happens then? Well, they come in and they talk about you. Well, I don't know why Leona's mad at me, because she used to take me to the store 3 times a week, and now she won't even take me once. And then it depends on who's listening, who has the bad rep, the person that actually had an issue, or the person that was doing the help. Well, did you hear Leona? She's not taking my money to the grocery store anymore. And it comes back.
It does.
Yeah, so we gotta really watch.
And then it strains the relationship.
And relationships with the people
The
that you're
people
involved in.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we can't do, and there is, I don't know how many people would fall in this category. There are people that do too much. You can do too much.
Mm-hmm.
You can get burnt out. And you're really reluctant to say that because people use that excuse. Well, I'm just so busy, I don't have time. Well, are you really? It depends, are you serving 12 hours a week and saying that? Or are you coming home at 4 o'clock when you get off work and sitting in front of the television for 6 hours and saying you don't have time to serve, that I have a full-time job? So, I think it's really one of those self-questions. Are we really too busy? And what are we talking about when we say we're too busy? Are we too busy to spend a whole Saturday somewhere? Maybe. But are we too busy to help the lady across the street, take her mail to her in the afternoon because we noticed she has a broken leg? And we see her hobbling out and the mailman just can't, let me take it up to her door. Or pick up the newspaper and carry it to her. Are we too busy to do those type of things? Or are we just too busy to think about it? So that's just kind of some thoughts on serving. We have lots of places, and like I said, God will lead you in these things. If you'll really let Him lead you, He'll tell you when you should and when you shouldn't do things. He'll give you opportunities. He'll give you opportunities here at the church. He'll give you opportunities in your daily stuff. Just let Him lead you. Ask in the morning, who can put somebody in my path today that I can serve? And that could be a 1-minute thing, or it could be an hour thing. It could just be somebody that needs somebody to listen to. Look for those people every day to do some little something. it'll make you feel better. Too. I mean, it's just a given, right?
Not always.
And
Sometimes it's painful to help people.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know, sometimes you're helping them and you're seeing, or you don't feel like you're getting through, or you're doing it in a way that they're just not getting. And there are times where, you know, you just want to beat your head against the wall. No, you're not getting the big picture. You're not getting all of it, you know. So there are times where you do it and you walk away and think, well, I did that wrong, or I didn't handle it right, or it didn't stick the way I wanted to.
But do you not
But
feel
the
better?
seed is there, and you hope God is just gonna do whatever needs to be done. But it doesn't mean that when you walk away, you feel good because you did it. Sometimes you have to do things, maybe it is telling them, I'm sorry, I'm not good with names, but this man, when he said, you know, sometimes there's people you help, and you don't know if you're really supposed to help them, you know, but you just do it and hope that, you know, was that the right feeling I was getting doing that and helping that person, or whatever it might be. Because I know in my life, there's times where I've helped people where I walk away and think, maybe I wasn't supposed to help that one, I should give it to that one instead, or, you know, but.
And I think, you know, we just have to let God take it from there. And He'll fix it.
Yeah.
If we do something really wrong, trying to help, some way or another,
He still fixes
He
it.
can fix it. I mean, you know, even to the Great Commission, he says, go and make disciples, and one of the last things, I will be with you. I think it's a true statement. He will, you know, he'll cover for us. Because if you think about it, have you ever been talking to somebody, especially about God and Jesus and all this, and you say something and you think, I didn't know that I knew that. Well, maybe you didn't know that. You know, or you say just the right thing and you think, well, why did I even know that? Or how did I know to word it that way? Or you say something, you're just having a conversation and they go, God, I really need it. And you thought, I didn't say anything. But they heard something that you didn't hear or even say, rather, yeah. So I think there's those times when, you know, God does cover for us.
It's called the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And you know, that's the receiver has that too. You know, they can hear things that we don't say. So yeah, it goes both ways. It's amazing. He said he'll do it, and he does. So don't always let the fear keep you from sharing and serving and stuff, because sometimes he just needs that human body to work through. The burning bush thing scares people sometimes. So, where are you going to serve? I've put down lots of little places for you guys. If you're doing the spiritual challenge, you've already seen this list. So if you're looking for a place, there's two places right now that we really need help. Really need help. That's the cleaning ministry. We're down to 2 people. And the children's ministry. They're really struggling too. The cleaning ministry, we kind of put it out there to all the D groups and life groups. We have 18 groups. So if we could get even 8 of the 18 groups to say, I'll do it, that would be once every 2 months. We get 12 of those groups to say yes, we'd be only doing it once every 3 months. So that's just kind of a creative way we kind of thought about maybe getting the cleaning done. The children's ministry is a little different. You don't have to be a Sunday school teacher to work in children's ministry. There's all kinds of stuff that Scott needs volunteers for. Just standing up there taking names and saying, let me print this out, put it I mean, you don't even have to like kids to do that.
We like kids.
Let me stop this.
Try to get the wide scope here. You don't have to love kids. But there's lots of things that Scott needs right now. Wednesday night, I think, is really an issue, isn't it?
For elementary, yes.
So if you're looking for places, there's 2 good places. Then there's some, the next page is also some, the 3 other ministries that we have that aren't really a weekly where you can, like communion you do every week, cleaning you do every week, those things. So I've got your contacts for the men's, women, and young at heart. Then down at the bottom is the ministries that we support. I don't know, I guess, does everybody realize we support ministries here?
Yeah.
10% of our tithes go, off the top, goes to support ministries. These are the 5 that we're, or 6 that we're supporting right now. That's the, and so some of these have some great opportunities to serve with. Sarah Wheeler and I think there's a couple other people.
Kinda goes over there.
To Fountain of Hope, and volunteer over there. We've got, the Dream Center, Sunshine Acres, Teen Child, all those are here in town. We've got the reservation, which is up in Globe. There's also things you can do for them even from here. They, do backpack drives and stuff like that.
She was saying they really need stamps. So if somebody could, I'm going to buy some this week and send some stamps.
But there's, to serve, there's, here's their websites, and there's also, each one has a contact person, like Pam's is, the Dream Center. So you have questions, you can ask one of us to tell you a little bit of ways, and you check out their website. And the last page is, if you're not, I want you all to fill this out. This kind of gives us an idea of what are you good at? And it's amazing, sometimes we find things here like, oh, we didn't know we had anybody in church that could do that. Do we need, you're a web designer, but you've never told anybody. We could use that. So just take a minute or two to fill that out and let me have it. So I'll have information on it. Any questions? How are we doing on time? Ooh, pretty close. You have to ask 5 minutes worth of questions.
Can I make copies and hand them out to friends?
What?
That form,
What for?
the last form.
Oh, they're up front. For, go to church here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up front.
Oh, they are? Okay, then I won't have to waste my paper.
On the,
On your table?
no, up front, under the
Oh,
habit
okay.
sign.
Okay.
Under the I for involvement.
I don't look.
So, questions?
What do you do?
Next week, Mr. Mike is gonna teach.
Yay, Mike.
He's gonna bring brownies and donuts and all kinds of treats.
You never know.
You never know, you better be
I
here.
might have to, or nobody will show
I
up.
know, since I'm trying to build you up here. You guys didn't even talk about the topic.
Nobody wants to talk about money.
All right, thanks, guys.